last class we stopped at looking at matrices and how to add and subtract, basic stuff, and we want to incorporate the directed numbers into that. So now let's start that today, where we're gonna look at an example here. All right, let's say A is equal to, so this matrix -1, 4, 5, -6. Right, and this matrix B is equal to 8, 10, -14, and let's say 0. And I say calculate A plus B, say 1 and 2, A take away B. Alright, so let's see what we're going to get with that. So part 1, A plus B, we take the matrix -1, 5, 4, -6, and we're going to add that to the matrix B, which is 8, 10, -14, and 0. So, some shading. This 1 would line up with this 8. Alright, so what we're going to have, so in brackets, we're going to have -1, and that's because here's -1, right? You have a plus sign, so plus, and then we're going to have the positive 8, so 8. Alright, then choose the next color. This 4 would line up with this -14. Alright, so we're going to have the 4 cross here. Right, we're going to add it to negative. Now you see, we're going to get signs clashing here because we're going to have the plus sign from here and the negative sign from the 14. So we're going to have plus -14. And when we have two signs together like that, we have to put the brackets, okay, to separate the plus, this plus with this negative. All right, so it's real common sense here. This 5 would line up with this 10. All right, so we're going to get 5 plus 10, and of course the plus sign comes from here. All right, so 5 plus in the middle, then 10. Okay, and my next color, we're going to have this -6 line up with this 0. All right, so we're going to have -6 plus 0. All right, so now close my brackets, and this is what I'm working out. Now you don't necessarily have to write things out like that. I'm just teaching. All right, normally you just simple, you say okay, -1 plus 8, and you just figure the answer out and just write the answer. All right, and let's move stuff across. I'll go to the left. All right, so we're going to -1 plus 8. So here we are signs in front of numbers. They are different. Okay, so we're going to subtract. Now the 8 is the bigger magnitude. The sign in front of it is positive, so the answer will be positive. So I'm going to get positive. Take away 1 from it, you get 7, so positive 7. All right, I'll come down here now to 5 plus 10. That's just straightforward, 15. All right, so 15. Across here now, after see the brackets here to separate the plus sign, negative sign, and brackets mean I'm multiplying this plus sign by this negative sign. So multiply plus, well, sign's different and you're multiplying, the rule says the answer is negative. So we're going to have 4 take away 14. All right, so we're going to have 4 take away 14. All right, next up we have this here. Signs are different, so we're going to subtract. And again, the bigger magnitude is, well, the bigger magnitude is 10. So the sign in front of it is positive, so the answer can be positive. So 6 from 10 is 4, so you can get positive 4. All right. So the only thing to work out there is the 4 take away 14. Now this 4 is positive, this 14 is negative, so the signs are different, so we are going to subtract. But the 14 have the bigger magnitude, and the sign in front of it is negative, so the answer will be negative. So take 4 from 14, you get 10. but the answer will be negative 10. All right, so put that right. I put it down here. All right, so the answer is 7, 15, negative 10, and 4. Okay, so you see, you learn how to add a matrix. Well, add two matrices, I should say. And you're going to practice your directed numbers. All right, so let's see where I can put the next one. I use a Perl space here. See if I can fit it somewhere on top. All right, number 2, part 2, I should say. We have A take away B. All right, so that'll just be the matrix A, which is negative 1, 5, 4, negative 6. Take away the matrix 8, 10, negative 14, and 0. All right, I'll probably put the answer down here. So I put imply. All right, I'll do the same thing again. I don't want to color it, but I'll just do this one last time. All right, let's put some colors. All right, I'm sure you understand what's going on. All right, I'll line up with that. And just line up with this. All right, so we're going to have negative 1 take away 8. All right, and that's because the negative 1 here take away this 8 here. All right, then we're going to have 4 take away negative 14. Write that. 4 take away, and the upper brackets negative 14 to separate the two signs. All right, then we have 5 take away 10. So we have 5 take away 10. And then we have negative 6 take away 0. So we're going to have negative 6 take away 0. Now, 0 is neither positive or negative. Okay, so 0 is nothing, right? It's neutral, neither positive nor negative. So it's just 0 is like that's in the middle, the positive numbers and the negative numbers. All right, so I'll put equal sign here and start working our answers out. Put brackets. All right, so we come here now. See, these two signs, they are the same. So we'll add, but we'll keep that negative sign. All right, so we're going to get add 1 and 8 and get 9, so we get negative 9. These two signs here, they're together, brackets, we have to multiply this negative sign by this negative sign. So signs are the same, we are multiplying, the answer is positive. So we're going to get 4 plus 14. I mean, you can write the answer one time, I'm just teaching, so that's why I write it like that. Okay, and then we have 5 take away 10. 10 is the bigger magnitude, sign in front is negative, sign in front of 5 is positive, so the signs are different, so we subtracting 5 from 10 and get 5. But the answer will be negative because the 10 is the bigger magnitude and the sign in front is negative. So we're going to get negative 5. And then we're going to have, well, negative 6 take away 0. 0 is nothing, so negative 6 take away nothing. So that's going to remain with negative 6. All right, so negative 6. So the only thing to work out there is the 4 and the 14, which is 18 when you add them. So I'll have negative 9, 18, negative 5, and negative 6. Okay, so that's remember using the same Jamboard from Monday. All right, so I'm just going to put this across on Jamboard. All right, so that's an example there of the addition and subtraction. Let's look at a little multiplication and see what happens using the matrices itself. All right. So I'm going to go to the next page here now. So I'm going to put next example here. Example. Say 2. Let's say I have the matrix P. I'll make it a simpler matrix. P is equal to negative 4, 1, and negative 3. Yeah, brackets better. And the matrix Q is equal to 14, 0, and negative 2. I'm going to ask calculate. Okay. 1, 2 times P, 2, negative 5. Oh, so high of a number as yet. So negative 3 times Q. And then I'm going to have part 3. 5 times Q, a positive there. Part 4, negative 10 times P. All right, let's see what we will get here. So part 1, we have 2 times P, so that's just equal to, okay, let's put 2 like this, brackets, and P like that. All right, and that just means we are multiplying this 2 by this negative 4, the 2 by the 1, and 2 by the negative 3. Now, because I'm teaching, I'm going to do it kind of a long way, but you just have to multiply it and put the answers. Okay, so that just means 2 multiplied by negative 4, put a bracket around like that, 2 multiplied by 1, and 2 multiplied by negative 3. Brackets like that. Okay, and just work out the answer there. 2 by negative 4, you're multiplying, well, signs are different, so the answer is negative, so you're going to get negative 8. All right, well, 2 by 1 is 2, and again, 2 by negative 3, signs are different, so the answer is negative. So I'm going to get negative 6. And this is my answer for 2 times P. All right. All right, real simple stuff. All right, but as I say, we start in basic and work our way up, so make sure you cover everything. Okay, for the exam. So negative 3 times Q. That'll be negative 3 times the matrix Q, which is 14, 0, and negative 2. I got to bring up my calc, put it on. Alright, calculator is coming up. Alright, let's make sure I have it open. Right, so what we're going to have here is negative 3 times 14, negative 3 times 0, and negative 3 times negative 2. Right, so that's my matrix there. So now when we're going to work out negative 3 times 14, let's on my calculator. Is it? All right, so I mean I could put in the negative sign and say 3, sorry, put in negative then the 3 like that and say times 14 and get the answer straightforward, negative 42. Or if you just know your rules and know, hey, you can multiply negative by positive, you can get negative, so just say, okay, 3 by 14 is 42. Signs are different, so the answer is negative, so the answer is just negative 42. All right, however you choose to do it. Okay. All right, so negative 42, well, anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so it doesn't matter. And remember, 0 is neither positive or negative, right? So it's nothing. All right, so let's go and get 0. All right, and now we have, you're multiplying 2 negatives. Signs are the same, so the answer is positive, so you can get positive 6. Okay, let's do a little, I see. Like this lines up with this. This lines up with this. This one lines up with this. This one lines up with this. And this down here lines up with this. This here lines up with this. Alright, so that's part 2. So space I have 5 times Q. Okay. So part 3. we have 5 times q. So that's 5 times, and the matrix q is 14, 0, and -2. All right, so that's 5 by 14. And I say do I write only 5 by 14 and all that, right? All you have to do is just put the answers one time. All right, so 5 by 0. And let's make it clear as to what I'm doing. All right, 5 by -2. All right, I'll put the answers here. Okay, so all right, that's going to work out 5 by 14. All right, and that's 70. All right, so that's 70. Anything by 0, 0. And well, 5 by -2. Signs are different, so the answer is negative. So we're going to get -10. Okay, so that's part 2, and let's see part 4. Work that right up here. All right, part 4. We have -10 p. So that's -10 times the matrix -4, 1, 3. So that'll just be -10 times -4, -10 times 1, and -10 times 3. All right, so multiplying two numbers, the signs are the same, both of them being negative. The answer is positive, so 10 by 4 is 40. All right, so positive 40. All right, -10 by 1. 1 is negative, 1 is positive, so the signs are different. So the answer will be negative, so you're going to get -10. Remember, signs different, answer negative when you're multiplying. All right, and then we're going to have one negative, 1 positive. Signs are different, so the answer is negative. 10 by 3 is 30. So you're going to get -30. All right, so those are your answers. And that's your multiplication. So put it across in Jamboard. So as you can see, nice basic stuff. Matrix is nothing too complicated when it comes to these simple operations. All right, so that's on Jamboard. All right, so now we're going to look at let's look at a little division with the matrices and see how that is done. Okay, so I'm gonna say my example like this. Example 3. If A is equal to 8, -2, 7, right? Calculate what is A divided by 3. Okay. Now, there are many ways to do this. All right. So what we could do is we could do it straightforward, like that with the divide sign, and say, okay, that just means solution is 8, -2, 7 divided by 3. All right, which means to divide everything by 3. So you're gonna have, well, first I'll write it like this: divide, so that's 8, -2, 7 divided by 3. So that's how we're gonna use it. Okay, so change the divide sign from this to the over. Now remember, when using this over sign, which is the divide sign, whoever comes first is the numerator, and what comes second would be the denominator. All right, so that will mean this by imply sign, imply. So imply, you'll have 8 over 3, -2 over 3, and 7 over 3, like that. Now, both of them positive, so the answer is positive. You can write the mixed number. This, the whole fraction, will be negative because 1 negative, 1 positive. And we just write the mixed number for that. So imply 3 into 8 is 1. Remainder, sorry, 3 into 8 is 2. What I'm saying. All right. 3/2, remainder 2. All right, we're gonna have negative in the middle, 2/3, so that's negative 2/3. And we'll 3/7, 3 2s are 6, so 2, remainder 1. And that will be my answer for this. That's how we do the division with the matrices. All right, so now the reason I just give this question alone is because I want to show an alternative. All right, the alternative might be a little longer, but it's about understanding. So when you divide by a number, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, so I'm going to put a note on that. All right, so let's note. Dividing by 3 is the same as multiplying by 1/3. All right, so anytime you have a question that you're dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I should continue like that and say that is dividing. I know reciprocal means put 1 over the number or to flip, right? Well, putting 1 over any number causes to flip. So all right, so dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal I'm not using words there, but don't worry, I'll explain it if you don't know what reciprocal is, but I think everybody should know that. Of that number. Okay, so we are applying it here. So I'll put example. I'll do that yet. I'll do that after. All right, so the same question. A divided by 3 is equal to 1. Well, I can write it like this. A multiplied by 1/3. And since multiplication is commutative, meaning it doesn't matter which one you put first, all right, we can write 1/3 A like that. Okay, so I know with matrices, you know, looking at it like this, it might look a little intimidating to put it over like that and then do that, but I find this is actually work out faster than doing this way. All right, but this way is just nicer to look at it like this, you know. Hey, 1/3 A. All right, when you're writing instead of something with a divide and a 3 like that, and then this looking weird, this looks more aesthetic. All right, but for me, the working like this is just be a little longer. This is just be more straight to the point. All right, so it's whichever one you choose or however you see it. I'm teaching you to understand and see things in different ways. So, you know, you could choose your part as to how you want to look at it. All right, so this has been 1/3 times the matrix A, which is the 8, -2, 7. All right, and as you see, you have put 1/3 times. Let me write it out. All right, so you see what I mean? I say I don't really like that in terms of working. It's just be longer. All right, put myself across here. So 1/3 times 8. I mean, you can put the 8 over 1 time, but because I'm teaching in others, so I don't want to skip any steps, right? All right, so I know I can do it faster. All right, 1/3 times -2, and then you have 1/3 times 7. All right, and then yeah, you can multiply that out. Or you might come and say, okay, if the numbers are complicated, you might say, okay, I need to cancel and stuff. So 1/3 times 8 over 1, 1/3 times -2 over 1. Yeah, make that negative a little more in line with 2 there. All right, and then you have 1/3 times 7 over 1. Right? You see, if I find I'm more headache to go through to do all that. Alright, and then you're gonna come and see, okay, if anything can cancel, nothing can cancel, so you multiply across. Anything can cancel, numerator, denominator, nothing, so you multiply across. Now if something can cancel, that'll be good. You just cancel it off and then multiply across. Right? Simple fractions. Right? Nothing canceling here as well, right? 3 and 7, 1 and 1, right? So let's multiply across. And you arrive at the same answer as what we have across there. I'll put it like this. Alright, so 1/3 A is equal to, alright, you'll have the 8/3, alright, because you know nothing would cancel, so you'll multiply 1 by 8 and 3 by 1 and get 8/3, right? And then you get the -2. Now what you could do one time is seeing that this is positive and this is negative, you can say, okay, I'm gonna get a negative answer, so you write it one time as -2/3, right? The whole fraction negative, and then 1 by 7 is 7 and 3 by 1 is 3, and then you're gonna break down, right? And write the same 2 and 2/3, -2 and, well, 2/3, -2 and 3, and then the 2 and 1/3. But I'm teaching maths and I'm teaching you to understand, so you could see, yeah, writing 1/3 A is nice, but this is what it translates into to arrive at this answer. So what I'm showing you this is like, you know, sometimes you get a question and you see something like 1/3 or 1 over some number, right? Multiplied by a matrix. It might be more beneficial to convert it to this form and just divide it quick and get your answer. Alright? Because obviously this is more writing than this. Okay? So once you understand that these 1/3 A and A divided by 3 is the same thing, then if you see a 1/3 A like that, you can just write it like this. Worked out nice and short. Yeah? It's your choice. But make sure you understand both ways. Alright? It's maths. Understand both ways. Alright, so let me clear that on Jamboard. So with that said, I see nothing complicated so far, but you're learning about matrices, you're learning the multiplication by what we call a scalar, all right, and little division as well. Straightforward stuff. Let me show you what reciprocal is. Let me discuss that on the next page. All right, so let's say note. All right. The reciprocal of, alright, I use x, of x is 1/x. Okay? That reciprocal is, I put it in a general form. So the reciprocal spell them. Right, reciprocal of, I'm gonna put like a fraction, 2/3 is equal to 1/2/3. Now let's see what happens. Now I'm gonna show you, I explain instruction in a long way. Once you understand what's going on, you don't have to go through a long way. That's right the answer. The fraction gonna flip. So once you find the reciprocal of a fraction, it's just flipping the fraction. Alright? Well, that sounds bad, but you know, yeah. Alright, so that'll just be like 1 divided by 2/3. Right? That's what this line means, divide. Okay? And you know, when you're dividing and change it to multiply, and you have to invert this divisor. Alright, so that'll flip, so you're gonna get 3/2. And if you multiply 1 by 3/2, the answer is 3/2. So and make sure you understand the working behind this. Alright, as to why it's gonna flip. Alright, see, 1 divided by 2/3. The divide I'll change to multiply, and you flip your divisor. Alright, so if I'm finding the reciprocal of a fraction, is just to flip the fraction, and that's your answer in terms of reciprocal. So what I'm trying to get at here, if I'm saying, I'm going to example down here. So if I'm saying example, calculate, and I say -8, 1, -6 divided by, I use that same thing, 2/3. All right, if I say that, then remember, dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. All right, so we're gonna have 8, 1, -6 multiply by 2/3. Sorry, not 2/3, but 3/2. I'll change it just now. All right, 3/2. Just making sure it line up with the note I give you, right? Dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. All right, so in the case of the fraction here, that's how to flip the fraction, which lines up with, change the divisor, multiply, and invert your divisor. All right, however you want to say this one. But let's making sure everything line up mathematically. All right, so and now you just have to multiply 8 by 2/3, 1 by 2/3, and -6 by 2/3. All right, so let's do that across here. So we're going to have 8 by 2/3, and I can put the 8 over 1, sorry, 3/2. All right, I keep saying 2/3. All right, 8 by 3/2. We could put the 8 over 1 time and save ourselves some lines there. I just being a teacher and taking it step by step. 3/2, and then -6 by 3/2. Right, which would be equal to 8 over 1 times 3/2. Right, well, one time, I'll write that 1 time. 1 times anything is the same thing, so that's gonna get 3/2. All right, so nothing to work out there. All right, and then you're gonna get -6 over 1 times 3/2. And now I could see if anything could cancel and simplify. So you could say, okay, well, 2 into 2, 1, and 2 into 8 is 4. So we have that, and then we can say 2 into 2, 1, and that's positive 2 into positive 2 is 1. So positive 2 into -6 will give you -3. Because signs are different, the answer is going to be negative. All right, so positive 2 into -6, we get -3. All right, and now once everything cancels up, we multiply across. All right, standard fractions. So 4 by 3 is 12, and 1 by 1 is 1, so 12 over 1 is just 12. Yeah, 3/2. And then here, -3 by +3, signs are different, you're multiplying, the answer will be negative. So you can get -9, 1 by 1 is 1, so -9 over 1 is just -9. And that's your answer there, the matrix. Okay, I'll put it on Jamboard. All right, so you see there's no big complication when it comes to your directed numbers, and matrices is not a big thing. And these are the same thing apply to vectors. A vector is just a column matrix, okay? So matrices, we have square matrices and matrices with different orders, right? But a column matrix is basically what a vector is. So the addition and subtraction of vectors in terms of just getting the column matrix, even the scalar multiplication of vectors is just like what I did here. All right, it's just for vectors, that's going to be the column matrix alone. Okay, back to here. All right, so next up, I'm going to do a combination here now. So I'm going to say if something passing. -1, 3, 2, 8, and q is equal to 5, 10, -3, 0. Calculate what is -5p plus q. All right, so a question like that. Well, first I'll have to work out what is -5p, then add it to q. So first I'll come and say, okay, I'll work out -5p. So that'll be -5 times this matrix -1, 3, 2, 8. Okay. So we're gonna have okay, let's go one time now. -5 by -1, two signs are the same, so the answer is positive, so you're gonna get +5. All right. -5 by 2, signs are different, so the answer is gonna be negative. So you're gonna get -10. All right, -5 with +3, signs are different, so the answer is negative, so you're gonna get -15. All right, and then we have -5 by +8, signs are different again, so we're gonna get a negative answer. So 5 by 8 is 40, so -40. So that's your answer for -5p. Then we're gonna come all right, and now we'll call this part here. So it's -5p plus q is equal to that answer 5, -15, -10, -40 plus q, which is 5, 10, -3, and 0. Okay. So now let's move on quickly, because I mean, a question like this, you don't want to write everything out and take long. All right, especially in the exam. Okay, so you're gonna go, that's 5 plus 5, the answer is 10. So this is how we normally do it. Let's try the answer. All right, then you have -10 plus -3. Now I know this one can be tricky, so I tell students, you see when you add signs together like that, if you know you're not good at directed numbers, write it out. Right, so I could watch it and say, okay, the positive sign will have to multiply with the negative sign and get a negative sign. So it'll be -10, take out the 3, signs will be the same, so you add and keep the negative sign and get -13. Now, if you're a little shaky, write it out. All right, so I'll write it out. So you have -10 plus -3. Okay, so now you can visually see the signs together and multiply it and get a negative sign. Okay, this one, -15 plus 10. If you're not comfortable, write it out. Okay, so I write it out. -15 plus 10. Okay, and -40 plus 0. Well, 0 is nothing, right? So that'll just give back -40. So basically -40 plus nothing. All right, so let's get back -40. So we just come in here now to work out this part here, and say multiply these two signs, the difference, so you're going to get a negative sign. So we're going to have 10, and we're going to have -10, take away 3. Down here we can work the answer one time. Signs are different, so you're going to subtract. 10 from 15 is 5. 15 is the bigger magnitude, sign in front is negative, so the answer is negative. All right, so we have -5, and then put -40 here. All right, so we're gonna have 10. Here we have two signs are the same, so we're gonna add and keep that negative sign. So that's -13. And then we have our -5 and -40. That's the answer there. All right, that's pretty page on Jamboard. All right, so you can see that you know, this matrices thing is not bad. All right, but what is make it bad is if you don't know your directed numbers. That is what make it bad. All right, Oh, I forget the parallel brackets here. All right, and I'm sure you can appreciate that now. If you know your directed numbers, then a real mistake could make inside of here. Real mistake, because I mean, so far you get a 2x2 matrix sign already. Well, actually for the Form 5 exam, the most I think they'll give you, well, with multiplication and matrices, the most they'll give you is a 2x2 matrices, which is the square matrix, the 2x2. They wouldn't really go to a 3x3. All right, but for the addition and subtraction, you can get more than a 2x2. So you could have like lots of numbers to add and subtract, and these little signs and things, signs, plus sign clashing with the negative sign, how to resolve all that. And you can make real mistakes if you don't know your directed numbers. Okay, and that's why I choose to do. I mean, I just don't want to ask you, hey, was negative 10 take away 3? Question 1. Question 2 is negative 15 plus 10. I mean, that is too basic, right? So this is what you'll have to do in Form 5. I don't know if you do matrices as yet, but if you're going to do matrices, you're going to do vectors. This is the kind of things you have to do for the startup to do the addition and subtraction, and directed numbers is crucial to doing this. All right, and you're seeing, you understand how to do how to handle matrices now, to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and you're going to practice your directed numbers, the rules for directed numbers. All right, so I'll just put some questions. Probably I'll try to, practice a little something. See, not too much. All right, so I'm just gonna put question 1. Given, let's see, use ABCD. Given A 8, 9, 11, negative 4, B 3, negative 11, C 7, 0, 1, negative 1, 4, negative 7. Change that to 12. All right, C and D. -21, negative, and positive 3. I use 3 on, yeah, no, use 3. 5. Okay. All right. Calculate. One, A plus B. 2. All right. A plus C. 3. B take away C. 4. B take away D. 5. C take away A. All right. And 6. C B divided by 22, 7, D divided by 2/5. All right, keep it simple like that for now. All right, so try those. There's no parallel sign in front of this. Yeah, I found a negative sign from that 2%. Stir up some complications. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So give that a try. All right. It's good practice. All right. Your directed numbers in effect. Okay. let's see, now it's 6:50. I'll give you like 7 questions. I get 10 minutes. All right, so 7 o'clock, I'll come and correct it. All right, 7 o'clock. Let's go through some solutions now. Let's see, I can put myself probably across here. Yeah. All right, so let's start with the first one. Now remember, pulling from what I taught you last week as well, right? You can only add and subtract matrices with the same order. All right, so this is a 2x2. Remember, rows by columns is the order of the matrix, right? So there's 2 rows, 2 columns, so a 2x2 matrix. This matrix B is 2 rows but 1 column, so this is a 2x1 matrix. So the order is different, so you can't add or subtract A and B. All right, so for the first one, let's put that right here. Actually, for the ones there's no solution, that's right, no solution. All right, let's see which one is no solution again. B and C. All right, so B take away C. Again, this is a 2 rows, 1 column. This is a 2x1 and this is a 2x2. 2 rows, 2 columns. So orders are different. Therefore, you can't subtract them. All right, so B take away C, that is no solution as well. All right, could only add and subtract matrices with the same order. All right, any more? B and D, that could work. A plus C, that could work. C take away A, that could work. All right, and the division, well, yeah. All right, so let's go with question 2. All right, A plus C. All right, so we're gonna have 8, 9, 11, -4, plus the matrix C, which is -7, -1, 0, 12. All right, so going quickly, as I say, if you're having trouble, write it out. So 8 plus the -7, you want to write that out, no problem. 8 plus -7. All right, then we're gonna have 11 plus -1. All right, so 11 plus -1. Then we're gonna have 9 plus 0. All right, so 9 plus 0. And -4 plus 12. So -4 plus 12. All right, so we have our signs that together. So signs are different. We have to multiply them together like this. So once it's different, the answer is negative, right? So negative here, also here. So 8 take away 7 and 11 take away 1. All right, so 8 take away 7 and here's 11 take away 1. All right, 9 plus 0 is 9. And okay, we'll call this one time. Signs are different in front of the numbers, so we're going to subtract. And we're going to take sign in front of the number, the bigger magnitude. So 12, sign in front, 12 is the bigger magnitude, I should say. Take the sign in front of it, which is positive. So the answer is positive. So take away 4 from 12, we get 8, so positive 8. All right, and now 8 take away 7. All right, well, that's straightforward, that's just 1. 11 take away 1, that's 10. And we have 9 and 8. All right, so put this on your Jamboard. All right, so that's part 2. We worked out this now. So let's look at 3, which is, well, 3 couldn't work out, right? So now B take away D. All right, let me see if I can work that right here. So part 4. Go back my lines. All right, part 4. B take away D. And so B is 3, -11, take away D, which is -21, 5. Okay, so we're gonna get 3 take away -21. So I'll write that out so I don't make no mistakes. Take away -21. All right, and then we have -11 take away 5. -11 take away 5. So again, the signs are together, so and they are the same, so you'll multiply them. So once you multiply and the signs are the same, the answer is positive. So you're going to get 3 plus 21. All right, so 3 plus 21. and then signs are the same here, but you see the difference? Signs were the same here, but we have to, because the brackets here and they're together like this, we have to multiply them. So the rules for multiplication says signs are the same. Well, you're multiplying, the answer is positive, so you got a positive sign here. But this negative 11 take away 5 is not multiplication. Alright, so you use the rules for addition and subtraction. Signs are the same, so you're going to add, but we're going to keep the negative sign, so you get negative 15. Okay. Alright, so that's 3 plus 21 is 24 and negative 15. Okay, so that's part 4. Alright, and part 5, C take away A. Alright, C take away A. So C take away A. Matrix C is negative 7, 0, negative 1, 12. Take away A, which is 8, 9, 11, negative 4. Alright, so now we have the negative 7 take away 8. Negative 7 take away 8. Then we have negative 1 take away 11. So negative 1 take away 11. Then we have 0 take away 9. Yeah, nice one. 0 take away 9. You know what's happened with this one? I'll get it, but you know, I'm just a little excited to see it, right? Students will say, okay, 0 take away 9. And just write the answer as 9. But yeah, remember the negative sign, the sign in front of the number is part of the number. So although this 9 was positive, and yes, it's 0, 0 is nothing. So 0, nothing, take away 9. The answer is not this positive 9. The sign in front is part of it. So all this is an operation here. Because it's coming in front of the 9, it makes this negative 9. So the answer for 0 take away 9 would be negative 9. Alright, so the next one we have is 12 take away negative 4. Alright, so 12 take away negative 4. So now signs are the same here. So we'll add and keep the negative sign. So 7 plus 8, I 14, I 15. Alright, so negative 15. As I said, 0 take away 9, that will give in negative 9 because the negative sign in front of the 9. Alright, here signs are the same, so we add and keep that negative sign, so we get negative 12. Alright, and here again signs are the same, but we have to multiply them. So we're going to get a positive sign and get 12 plus 4. Alright, so we're going to get negative 15. Take away 9, negative 12, and 12 plus 4 is 16. Alright, so that's the answer for part 5 for the sacrosanct Jamboard. So the last part now is part 6. Alright, where we have B divided by 22, and as I said, I prefer write this as B over 22 like that. Because for me that is the shorter thing to do. And write the 3, negative 11 like that, and put the divide sign like that. Alright. And you just come and say, okay, 3 over 22, negative 11 over 22. Let's break it down right there. Alright. 3 over 22, that'll just remain 3 over 22. And well, negative 11 will cancel, so negative 11 to negative 11. That could give positive 1 if you want to look at it, and negative 11 to positive 22 is negative 2. You could do it like that, or you could say, well, you know, I don't want to do it like that. I just want to say 11 into negative 11. Negative 11, I'm just getting negative 1 like that, and then 11 into 22 is 2. It don't matter. The answer is still negative a half. Any way you do it. Alright, so you just get negative a half. Alright. Right, one being negative, one being positive, the whole answer is negative. So negative a half. Okay, so that's your part 6 with B divided by 22. Part 7, we have D divided by negative 2/5. So that's the same as D multiplied by invert. So it's still going to be negative, 5/2. Okay, so that implies, let's try to come down here. D is the matrix negative 21, 5 multiplied by negative 5/2. Okay, now I know how that looking like some kind of thing to cancel up, because you see something here, and might cancel like that. No, this negative 21 had to multiply by negative 5/2, and this 5 had to multiply by negative 5/2. All right, it's a matrix, a column matrix. All right, so you have negative 21 multiplied by negative 5/2, and you have 5 multiplied by negative 5/2. Well, I mean, I sharper negative sign, and this is a good point here. Now, the negative sign would be in the middle, right? Meaning the whole fraction negative. But for the purpose of canceling, you can make either the denominator negative or the numerator negative, right? So for the purpose of canceling, all right, because it doesn't matter if the denominator negative or the numerator negative, the whole fraction is still negative. All right, so my next step here to cancel up now, negative 21/1 multiply by, if I want to get a split in numerator, negative 5/2, and 5/1 multiply, let's put negative 5/2. All right, well, equal sign here and squeeze the answer. So nothing, well, actually nothing canceling, so negative 21 by negative 5. All right, pull my calculator up. 21 by 5, and we have 105, so that'll be positive 105/2. All right, because 1 by 2 is 2, negative by negative, well, signs are the same, you're multiplying, the answer is positive, so positive 105. So you see, that's why I converted the now another way you can look at it is saying, okay, this whole thing is negative, this whole thing is negative, I can multiply two negatives, the answer is going to be positive, and just ignore the negative signs, and when you're writing the answer, just write it positive. You can do that as well. So it's your choice how you want to look at it, and which way you want to do first, and how you want to approach it. All right, here now nothing cancels, so positive 5 by negative 5. Once the signs are different, one is positive, one is negative, so the answer is going to be negative, so you can get negative 25. And 1 by 2 is 2. All right, and I can break that down to mixed numbers, but all the space, so I'm just going to leave that part out. But you know, you break it down, 2 into 105 and 2 into 25, right? Just divide on the calculator. So don't ever let those things, I mean, multiple choice here, hand no calculator, but paper 2, yeah, use the calculator when you could, makes life easier. All right, so I'm here, let's throw on 105, I mean, it's simple enough, divided by 2, right? And you get 52.5, or you might see it as 52.5, no problem. All right, and yeah, well, 25 by 2 is 12.5. 25 divided by 2, you get 12.5, which is 12.5. All right, but it will be negative, right? So negative 12.5. All that's good. So I'm gonna put this on the Jamboard. So that's okay, right? Question 8. All right, what is negative 2a plus 3b? All right, so that's, about 10 minutes. I could probably take 5 minutes and do it. All right, so that's negative 2a. You know what? Yeah, let's go take up time. I'll go through it with you. All right, let's make sure, go over the questions on your own. And I know you had to write over the notes. All right, so go it over, make sure you can work all the questions out, on your own without looking. So you only look to make sure that you had the right answer, okay? But first of all, review the work, right? So make sure you understand it, and then work over the questions to reinforce, all right? So for this question, first I'll work out what is negative 2a. All right, so negative 2a is equal to negative 2 times 8, 9, 11, negative 4. All right, so we're gonna have negative. I don't want to write out the whole multiplication thing. I just had to multiply it and say, okay, negative 2 by positive 8. Signs are different, so you can get negative answer. 2 by 8 is 16, so negative 16. All right, negative 2 by positive 9, so you can get negative 18. All right, then negative 2 by positive 11, you can get negative 22, but signs are different, so the answer is negative. But then when you come to negative 2 times negative 4, signs are the same. Sign front numbers are the same, so you're going to get a positive answer. So 2 by 4 is 8. So you work out what is negative 2a. Then you need to work out what is 3 times b. All right, so 3 times b, that's 3 times, oh, let me change that. Shouldn't be 3 times b at all. Can't work. All right, it's 3 times c, I should say, right? 3 times c. All right, because that was a no solution, right? Right, 3 times c. So c was negative, well, c is negative 7, 0, 1, and 12. All right, so again, just work that out. 3 times negative 7, signs are different, so the answer is negative, so negative 21. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so you get 0 here. All right, then you have 3 times 1 is 3. And then you have 3 times 12, which will be 36. All right, so now that we have the negative 2a and also the 3c, we can add them up now. Okay, so negative 2a plus 3c is equal to, write the answer for negative 2a, which is negative 16, negative 22, negative 18, and 8. All right, plus 3c, which is negative 21, 0, 3, and 36. All right, so we have negative 16 plus negative 21. We'll have negative 18 plus 0. All right, we'll have negative 22 plus 3. And we'll have 8 plus 36. All right. As the last one, I'll just shade. All right, so 16, 21. That's why we have this. 22, I mean, it's obvious. Right, but still, just making it clear. 18 and 0, that's why we have this. And 8 and 36, that's why we have this. Alright. So come here now. You multiply these two signs, the difference, so you're going to get a negative sign. So we're going to get negative 16, take away 21. Well, negative 18 plus 0, let's get back negative 18. 0 is nothing. Alright. I know the sign in front of 18 here is negative, right? So this by itself, this is nothing. Alright. Here, signs are different, so you're going to subtract. 22 is the bigger magnitude. The sign in front is negative, so the answer is negative. So you're going to get negative 19. Alright. And then we have 8 plus 36. That's straightforward. That's about 44. Alright, so we just had to work out the negative, these two. Alright, so signs are the same, so you're going to add and keep that negative sign. So 6 plus 1 is 7, 1 plus 2 is 3, so negative 37, negative 18, 19, 44. All right, and that's your answer. Okay, so let's put this on a Jamboard. So one Jamboard has all the notes from Monday and today. All right, so when you're using to revise, yeah, I will send the PDF for this class alone, but the Jamboard has, you know, the week's work. So So everything is there. All right, so next class, we see we on directed numbers. I expose you to matrices, to add, subtract, do the multiplication of a scalar, well, division of a scalar. Yeah, you can bring little fractions into the multiplication as well. All right, I get to practice directed numbers. I'm going to use the algebra, addition and subtraction of algebraic terms, also multiplication and division as well, again to practice the directed numbers. Okay, I know those were things you're supposed to do in form 3 or form 4. All right, but you know, as I said, we kind of going through quickly. All right, but going through as much of the syllabus as you can. All right, so that, you know, it's like a review and also to prepare for exam. Okay, so we look at the algebraic terms next class, Monday. All right, where we incorporate directed numbers into the 4 operations as well. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed class and you understood. All right, and you know, I hope you're benefiting from it.